hip hop, sometimes you have to speak a special language to those that don't understand a certain. I don't desire to be feared. I desire to be loved, if that's possible. But most of all, I just want to be respected.
Why do you think Lil J is so feared? Like, you say the word Lil J and, you know, a shiver goes through everyone's spines, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, respect me as a person. I'm gonna respect you. And if you don't give that respect, then it's important that you learn the next time to give that respect.
I can't explain what happened at Rap A Lot, but you heard a lot. You heard a lot, like artist-wise. Artists was getting f***ed up. I ain't gonna name what artists. They was getting f***ed up. Jay is connected. Like, you get him, you know what I mean, with the Chicago, you know what I mean, with the Chicago connection, you know what I mean, with the big homie in Chicago. Jay is tapped in with too many real and too many love him and got respect for him to let anything go, you know what I mean, bad, talking about him.
When people think of J. Prince, a lot of things come to mind. The soft-spoken rap mogul has a reputation that speaks for itself. For some, it's all about the respect he commands. For others, it's admiration for the way he gives back to the community. And for some, to be frankly honest, it's just downright fear of the man.
why do you think Lil J is so feared? Like, you say the word Lil J and, you know, a shiver goes through everyone's spines, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, respect me as a person. I'm gonna respect you. And if you don't give that respect, then it's important that you learn the next time to give that respect.
J. Prince has been labeled the boogeyman of hip-hop, and that title didn't come out of nowhere.
In hip-hop, sometimes you have to speak a special language to those that don't understand a certain language.
Plenty of rappers have spoken about the intimidation factor surrounding him. Take Lil Boozy, for example. He was so hesitant to even mention J. Prince in an interview that he flat out refused to speak on it.
J. Prince did an interview on $1 Million Worth of Game, and that set off a whole bunch of
Right.
What do you think of that interview?
I don't be really having nothing to say on that, you know. I'm just glad, you know, God let it skip me from things happen to me like that.
Even major players like Jay-Z and Diddy reportedly felt so uneasy about J. Prince's influence that they allegedly tried to get the feds involved to keep him in check.
Someone left that meeting talking about our movement. And, you know, unfortunately, the feds hit all of us at the same time, which I don't think was a coincidence.
Yeah, so Puffy told, but Jay-Z, I didn't know about that. So Jay-Z, he told too?
Said that years ago, man.
But here's where it gets interesting. While the scary stories about J. Prince are all over, there are some who say it's all hype. They claim he's not as gangster as people think.
I don't believe J. Prince is a professional anything. He's a CEO of a rap label, so he's a professional entertainer. I think that's where y'all get it twisted. Y'all think in the entertainment business are real gangsters. If you know their name in the entertainment world, there's no way they know gangsters. Why don't mob ties have any RICO charges like every other gang in mafia? Because they're not a real mob. They're really pretending.
So what's the real story? Is J. Prince truly the man everyone in hip-hop fears, or is this just a bunch of exaggerated tales? Let's get into it. In every industry, there are always people working behind the scenes, pulling strings, and shaping the landscape to fit their vision. These power players don't usually flaunt their influence. Instead, they move quietly, earning respect through actions rather than words. They can either be your greatest allies or your worst enemies because stepping out of line with their unspoken code often brings consequences. In hip-hop, there are few names that embody this low-key power like James Lamont Prince, better known as J. Prince. As the mastermind behind Rap A Lot Records, J. Prince played a pivotal role in launching and guiding the careers of iconic acts like the Ghetto Boys, UGK, Zero, and Do or Die. Over the years, he's become a Houston legend, but not the loud, in-your-face kind of legend. No, J. Prince carries himself with an almost unsettling calm, rarely raising his voice above an authoritative whisper. But don't let that calm exterior fool you. Behind the quiet demeanor is one of the most respected and feared men in hip-hop. Jay Prince attributes the respect he gets to his honesty, brushing off his larger-than-life reputation as if it's no big deal. But the people around him, they're not shy about hyping him up. Take Scarface, for example. As one of the ghetto boys, Scarface had a front-row seat to Jay Prince's leadership and doesn't hold back when describing the impact Jay had on him. A lot of motherfuers wanted to be like Mike growing up, but I wanted to be like Jay. He was raised by wolves, and I was raised by that wolf. So when the wolf goes and he feeds his pack. Me being raised by that same wolf. When I kill, it's my responsibility to feed my pack. I was 16 years old watching this man handle business the way he knows how to handle business. Now I know how to handle it the same way. That is the reason I could leave my grandmother's house and sit here in front of you in Los Angeles and talk my set.
The way he know how to handle business, I know how to handle the same business.
Yeah.
So we are wolves. He was raised by wolves and I was raised by that one. That is my reason for being able to leave my grandmother's house and sit in front of you in Los Angeles, California.
That's the kind of loyalty Jay Prince inspires, the kind that turns people into lifelong soldiers for his cause. Even though the glory days of Rap-A-Lot Records are behind him, Jay Prince's influence hasn't faded. These days, he's teamed up with his sons, Jay Prince Jr. and Jazz Prince, to ensure the family name stays relevant in the game. Whether you're an up-and-coming artist or already at the top, you're not out of Jay Prince's reach. For instance, back when Tekashi, 6 ix 9ine was wreaking havoc in the rap world and making headlines for all the wrong reasons, it didn't take much for Jay Prince's sons to shut him down. They made one call, and 6 ix 9ine was kicked out of a Houston nightclub and booted off a South by Southwest lineup for not checking in with the Prince family. When 6 ix 9ine later turned informant during his legal troubles, Jay Prince released a chilling statement in his signature style. Calm yet cutting, he used it as a moment to set the record straight while sending a message to anyone who might think about crossing the Rap-A-Lot family. Election day has come, and now I'm hearing lies he's telling under oath about robbing me or representatives of Rap-A-Lot. If him or any of those clowns were to try robbing me or anyone from the Rap-A-Lot family, bad news would have beat them home. Let this be a lesson to those who know better. Do better. There was never a question in my mind that this kid, Tekashi 6 ix 9ine, wasn't rap material. That's why my sons didn't allow him into their party. It was never about a rat checking in with us. When it comes to Jay Prince, there's always been this aura of untouchability around him, a level of respect and fear that makes most people think twice before crossing him. But some folks speculate that this same untouchability might be why his family has been targeted. On June 1st, 2021, Jay Prince shared some devastating news on Instagram. His nephew had been According to his post, a group of what he called renegade young punks entered his nephew's garage and shot him in the heart. Jay Prince was clearly heartbroken and furious, condemning the as clowns with no principles. It was a rare glimpse into the personal toll violence had taken on someone who's long been seen as larger than life. Now, if you know anything about Jay Prince, you know he's not the type to sit back and let things slide. But this time, instead of taking matters into his own hands in a way the law might not approve of, he decided to use social media to send a message, not just to the but to all of Houston.
There are a few renegade young punks who went into one of my boys' garage and shot my unarmed nephew in his heart and killed him. I wish I could go back to the Western days and put a wanted, dead or alive, $1 million reward on them. But that's illegal, so I won't do that.
Jay Prince didn't stop there. He called for real ones from all over to come together and deal with what he described as bad apples. Then he ended his post with a chilling wish for immediate karma on anyone who intentionally innocent people.
I wish immediate karma to all that intentionally innocent people. Reap what you sow.
The cryptic tone of his message had people buzzing, wondering if J. Prince was hinting at taking justice into his own hands. The streets started speculating. Did he already make moves to avenge his nephew? Knowing J. Prince's reputation, the idea wasn't far-fetched for some. This wasn't the first time J. Prince had spoken out about the growing violence in hip-hop and beyond. He's been vocal for years about the need to address the senseless killings plaguing the community. Back in 2020, he talked about how people treat the gangster lifestyle too lightly, forgetting the deadly consequences that come with it. It ain't no game. It's really not a game, he told the Jasmine brand. But if you choose to play it, then understand the consequences that go along with it, and prepare yourself for the consequences. He made it clear that too many people talk tough, but aren't ready for the reality that comes knocking when the streets catch up with them. J. Prince's reputation as a mover and shaker in the music industry isn't just about power. It's also about the way he steps in when situations spiral out of control. From getting YBN Almighty J's chain back after a brutal robbery in New York to diffusing major beefs at the highest levels of hip-hop, J. Prince has made himself a key figure behind the scenes.
This is Steve Francis' chain, and it shall be returned to him. I told him Steve Francis is a friend of mine. You know what I mean? And I wanted to let that be known. This is a friend of mine, so, you know, give him back what was taken from him.
Take the Drake and Kanye West situation, for example. For years, Drake and Kanye were at odds, throwing subliminals and letting the tension simmer. But in 2021, all of that changed when J. Prince got involved. Drake, being a longtime affiliate of Rap-A-Lot Records, has always had J. Prince in his corner. In fact, Jazz Prince, Jay's son, is credited with discovering Drake in the first place. Over the years, J. Prince has played the role of a protector for the Canadian superstar, stepping in whenever things got heated. One infamous example of this was when rumors surfaced that Diddy had slapped Drake during a heated exchange. While most artists might have let things escalate, J. Prince quickly shut it down with what he called a courtesy call. In a recorded message, J. Prince made his stance clear. "Oh, Tom, these N are awakening a sleeping giant, Drake is family, and the weak S from Puffy and Suge is on my radar. First of all, Puffy feeling like he can put hands on my family opens the doors for his family to be touched. You reap what you sow."
I'm not gonna lip wrestle with you niggas, but if any of you clowns cross me or my family, bad news, gonna beat you home.
For anyone wondering why someone as powerful as Diddy would even acknowledge J. Prince's warning, UGK's Bun B broke it down perfectly. "I think a lot of people look at it as he's threatening people and this and that, but it's just statements. If you're wrong, make the situation right," Bun explained. "Everybody feels like there's going to be some violence, but I don't see it going that far. I think everybody involved is going to do what they need to do to rectify the situation." Fast forward to 2021, and J. Prince was back at it, this time bringing Kanye West and Drake together after years of back-and-forth animosity. The moment was striking. Kanye, typically confident and unapologetic, appeared humbled as he stood shoulder to shoulder with J. Prince and extended an olive branch to Drake.
This is Jay and J. Prince. I'm making this video to address the ongoing back and forth between myself and Drake. Both me and Drake have taken shots at each other, and it's time to put it to rest.
For some, it was clear that Kanye wasn't just making amends out of goodwill. J. Prince's influence was likely at play. Joe Budden and others speculated that Kanye's apology might not have been entirely voluntary. And honestly, given J. Prince's history, it's not hard to believe.
Drake just not saying a word told me all I needed to know about this appearance and what it is and what it meant. And the Prince is there with his hands folded, not even making sure that you reading the right stuff. There ain't a worry in the
Just
world.
me standing
You might as
here
well go make some coffee.
But it's not just in public feuds where J. Prince has shown his power. There have been plenty of instances where his influence was felt in ways that raised eyebrows. When thieves broke into NBA YoungBoy's mansion and stole several items, J. Prince stepped in to help retrieve the stolen goods.
The little homie YoungBoy place got broke into, I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right. I got your keys to your McLaren, all that they took, all good, waiting on you.
However, something about the whole situation felt off to some fans, with rumors swirling that J. Prince's involvement might not have been purely selfless.
I felt it was odd. Him and YoungBoy got into it for a quick second. And from that situation, That was an attempt at extortion.
Then there's the Megan Thee Stallion controversy. When Megan was trying to get out of her first record deal with 1501 Records, the label's head, Carl Crawford, was accused of leveraging his ties to Jay Prince to intimidate her. In court documents, it was alleged that Jay Prince was known for using strong-arm intimidation tactics, and one particular comment he made during the dispute was taken as a physical threat. Whether or not all the stories about Jay Prince are true, one thing is undeniable: his track record speaks volumes. This is a man whose influence has not only shaped the music industry but also extended far beyond it, proving time and again that he's a force to be reckoned with. Even when the DEA targeted him and the Ghetto Boys in the past, the tables somehow turned, and the lead agent on the case ended up indicted instead. If that doesn't tell you how untouchable Jay Prince is, nothing will. Over the years, Jay Prince has been involved in some of the most high-profile conflicts in hip-hop, often stepping in to calm the storm. From settling the feud between T.I. and Lil Flip, to advising Drake against dropping a response to Pusha T's The Story of Adidon, he's shown time and again that he has the power to shift the narrative and steer situations in the direction he sees fit. One of the most fascinating stories tied to Jay Prince is the rumor that he stopped a potential deadly clash between Pimp C and Master P. At the time, the two Southern legends were at odds over business dealings that had gone south, and tensions were escalating fast. For Jay Prince, this wasn't just about business, it was personal. Pimp C had earned his respect, and even though Jay Prince couldn't sign him, he felt compelled to step in and make peace. In his own words, Jay Prince explained how he approached the situation. A bond was made, and even though I couldn't sign him, I extended my hand to be there for him because they was from the South. When it came to the beef, I definitely felt I needed to step in. Master P wanted to be respected, and Pimp C wanted to be respected. To get both parties on one accord with the subject of respect, that was the solution. I had to kind of make him listen to me. I inspired Pimp C to know that I was that type of person who could only motivate a man not to pour gas on a situation but to try and diffuse it.
When it came to the beef, I definitely felt I needed to step in. Master P wanted to be respected, and Pimp C wanted to be respected.
This wasn't just a one-off. Jay Prince has repeatedly shown his knack for resolving conflicts that could have gone tragically wrong. There's even talk that he stopped a plot in its tracks as effortlessly as he handles everything else. While most people would be rattled by the pressure of handling these kinds of situations, Jay Prince does it all while continuing to expand his empire. Today, his success is reflected not just in his legacy, but also in his lifestyle. Among his many accomplishments, he owns his own private island, a clear sign that his business acumen is just as sharp as his ability to command respect. Now, while his camp often praises his willingness to go to extraordinary lengths to maintain his standing, others argue that Jay Prince is just as willing to set examples, even within his own crew, if it means reinforcing his authority. Former Rap-A-Lot signee Yuckmouth spoke openly about Jay Prince's legacy during an interview with Vlad TV, describing how the mogul's name still carries an immense amount of weight. According to Yuckmouth, back in the day, artists who stepped out of line were physically dealt with, a detail that has sparked plenty of speculation about what exactly that entailed.
I can't explain what happened at Rap-A-Lot, but you heard a lot. You heard a lot, like artist-wise. Artists was getting up. I ain't gonna name what artists, but they was getting up.
But Yuckmouth also emphasized that Jay Prince's influence extends far beyond the music scene. He's deeply connected to high-powered individuals across various circles, and those relationships have helped solidify his position as someone you simply don't cross. Too many people love and respect Jay to let anything bad happen to him, Yuckmouth explained.
Jay is connected. Like you get him, you know what I mean, with the Chicago, you know what I mean, with the, you know what I mean, the Chicago connection, you know what I mean, with the big homie in Chicago. Jay is tapped in with too many real niggas, and too many love him and got respect for him to let anything go, you know what I mean, bad talking about him.
For years, an affiliation with Jay Prince was seen as a kind of shield, protection that guaranteed safety from outside threats. But recent events have called that image into question, particularly when it comes to Jay Prince Jr. and the younger generation of the Prince family. Their attempts to live up to their father's reputation have not only been criticized, but have also led to devastating consequences, most notably in the tragic of Takeoff. Following the incident, Jay Prince issued a statement that was both somber and chilling, making it clear that no one, family or not, would be shielded if they were responsible. "I consider myself a man that's quick to listen and slow to speak," Jay Prince said. "Therefore, to whomever is responsible for putting that bullet in my little nephew's head, let it be known that you can't hide behind me, beside me, or anywhere near me because I don't tolerate dumb shit. I speak these words not knowing whose bullet is responsible for his death." Despite these words, the fallout was immense. The Prince family faced backlash for what many perceived as a lack of accountability. A floral memorial tribute organized by the family was criticized as being more about self-promotion than honoring Takeoff's memory. The situation only worsened when reports emerged that the prime suspect in may have been linked to Jay Prince Jr.'s crew. Critics were quick to point fingers, with some suggesting that the tragedy could have been avoided if Jay Prince Jr. and his siblings weren't cosplaying as gangsters and using their father's image for clout. Whack 100, among others, accused the younger princes of reckless behavior, calling it a stain on the family's reputation.
Junior, Jazz, they lived a good life. They ain't come up with that in that daddy was around, bro. And they popping this persona. This, but ain't damn one of them like that.
An Atlanta OG also weighed in, advising rappers to stop checking in with Jay Prince Jr. when traveling to Houston. The OG warned that the tradition rooted in gang culture wasn't worth the risk and urged artists to invest in professional security instead. "Keep security," he said. "Don't let these fake OGs from other cities tell you you're good or they've got you a car waiting. That's a lie." The controversy didn't end there. An interview with Jay Prince and his sons about the Takeoff situation added fuel to the fire, when comments they made were interpreted as wishing harm on another member of the Migos. The backlash was swift and severe, with fans and industry insiders dragging the family for their perceived insensitivity. For Jay Prince, this has created an undeniable tension. While he remains a towering figure of respect and power, the actions of his sons have begun to cast a shadow over his legacy. Their reckless behavior, as they try to emulate the respect their father has earned, has only made things worse.